Have you ever heard of someone who seemed to win, well, everything? I'm talking about a woman who entered contest after contest and just kept winning. We're not talking small prizes here. We're talking outboard motors, trip to Europe, and even a fully furnished house, a prize she won against 2 million other people. So let's get into the incredible story of Helene Hadsell and the surprisingly simple technique she used to win it all. Right here, this is the core of her entire philosophy. You know how we all say, "I'll believe it when I see it"? Well, Helene just flipped that completely on its head. For her, believing wasn't something you did after the fact. Nope, it was the active ingredient that actually made things happen in the first place. I mean, that sounds a little crazy, doesn't it? But that's exactly what Helene Hadsell claims she did. She started out as a totally regular housewife and became a master of what she called the name it, claim it game. And winning that dream home? That was her final exam. Helene's journey didn't kick off with some big mystical vision. It was actually way simpler. She read a book about positive thinking and just decided to see if it really worked. Her testing ground? The world of mail-in contests. She wanted to prove to herself that if you can truly conceive and believe something in your mind, you absolutely can achieve it.
And you know what? The results started rolling in fast. First up, an outboard motor for her husband. And her entry was pure genius. She wrote it from his point of view, calling Coke his silent partner that contributes no yakety yak. Hilarious. Then she won a second phone line, then a bicycle for her daughter, and another one for her son. With every single win, her confidence just skyrocketed.
Now here's the really crucial part. Helene didn't have any special connections. She didn't have a fancy writing degree. Her only secret weapon was her own mind. Every time she thought about a contest she'd entered, she would just think to herself, "I wonder when they will let us know that we have won." She just flat out refused to let a single shred of doubt creep into her head.
This idea of reframing failure, it was everything. Get this, she once won a trip to a dude ranch, but got disqualified because she was terrified of flying. Now, for most of us, that's just the loss, right? Game over. But for Helene, it was just the delay. So she spent the next year convincing herself that she'd love flying, entered the exact same contest again, and won. And this time, you bet she got on that plane.
Okay, so that brings us to the big question. How did she do it? Really, how do you go from winning a couple of bicycles to manifesting trips and a whole house? Well, she boiled down her technique into a simple 4-step process she called the SPEC method. She even had her own name for it, WISHcraft. And no, that's not witchcraft, it's WISHcraft. She saw it as the art and science of turning a simple wish into a solid physical reality, all by using focused mental energy. So here's how it works. SPEC is an acronym. First, select it. You've got to be crystal clear on what you want, no vague wishes. Then, project it. You have to vividly imagine the end result, really feel what it's like to already have it. Third, expect it. You have to act as if it's a done deal, like the package is already in the mail. And finally, collect it. Be ready to receive it, all while staying in that positive, harmonious state.
And this next point, this is the absolute game changer in our whole philosophy. It's the difference between desire and knowing. See, desire is hot and anxious. It's that I really, really hope I get it feeling, but it's full of doubt. Knowing, on the other hand, is cool. It's this calm, peaceful certainty. There's no anxiety at all. It's the feeling of, oh, it's already done. I'm just waiting for it to show up.
All those other wins were basically practice runs. They were all leading up to her biggest challenge, the ultimate test of her SPEC method, winning a fully furnished dream house. And the prize was unbelievable, a state-of-the-art home packed with all the latest appliances and furniture that had been on display at the World's Fair. For Helene, this was it. This was the ultimate name it, claim it challenge. So she didn't just sit around thinking about it. She practiced what she called active faith. It started with her driving 19 miles through a nasty rainstorm just to fill out the entry form. But then she took it even further. The whole family started drawing up blueprints for how they would remodel the house. They spent their weekends driving around looking for the perfect plot of land to build it on. All of this before they had any clue who won. And this was her guiding principle in action. Don't just sit and wait for good things to happen to you. Actively prepare for them. You act as if your success is so inevitable that you're just getting the logistics out of the way ahead of time. So weeks go by, and then the phone rings. It's the judging firm. But hold on, it's not the big announcement. It was a preliminary call just to verify some details. Was her husband a homeowner? Did he actually visit the model home?
They were just weeding out the invalid entries. The suspense was killing them.
A week later, they get the call. The officials were on their way over. And just before they walked through the door, Helene turns to her husband and whispers this. I mean, how funny is that? It just shows her absolute, unshakable certainty. The outcome was so real to her that the only thing left to do was put on a little show for the cameras. So what were the odds she was up against? Over 2 million entries. 2 million for that one dream home. But for Helene, this wasn't about luck or beating the odds. For her, it was just the predictable result of a method she had practiced over and over and over again.
So, what's the big takeaway from this wild story of winning contests? Well, for Helen, it was never really about the free stuff. She was trying to prove a much, much bigger point.
See, those contests were just her training ground. She believed that life itself is a game. And it doesn't matter if you want a new job, a great relationship, or better health, the same rules apply. The SPEC method isn't just for winning prizes, it's a framework for achieving pretty much any goal.
So what are the rules of the game? It really just boils down to this. First, decide exactly what you want. Then, imagine you already have it. Next, you have to shift from just wanting it to knowing it's yours. Then, you prepare for its arrival. Because as Helene proved time and time again, when you truly change your expectations, you fundamentally change your reality.
Helene always insisted that she wasn't special, that absolutely anyone could do what she did. She said she just learned the rules of the game. So, now that you know them too, there's really only one question left. What will you name and claim?